question of what is personality is a question that's going to get any two psychologists that you get together arguing for the rest of the week. I think that the obsession with personality assessments tells us that humans really do love labels and categories and ways of identifying ourselves and each other. But there's a problem with personality assessments in general because, what does it mean to be you?
Today I'm talking about the Myers-Briggs personality type.
It takes 4 letters.
ENTP, INTP. Oh, this is my type.
Be sure to like this video if you're an ESTJ like me.
People have been trying to define personality, I think, since as long as we know Aristotle, Plato. You have a lot of people who've been trying to break humans down into types, into categories, into humors.
I am a type C. Morton is a type U. We're scientifically impossible.
So starting from the late 1800s to the turn of the 20th century, people started kind of looking under the hood, so to speak. And there was a real boom in trying to figure out personality with the rise of people like Sigmund Freud, who said, okay, it's not just what you see. People have motivations, there are subconscious things, there are unconscious things. The first really scientific assessment actually happened during World War I, and this was observing soldiers in different situations and trying to figure out basically, are you battle worthy? How are you going to respond? Are you someone we want to send out in battle? No one really knows when the first personality quiz emerged. Some of the earliest ones that people have found were in women's magazines, and they had to do with marriage and with being a wife and with suitable marriage material. Are you a good wife? Or find an ideal husband. Historically, women were not really allowed in the workforce. They were staying at home. They needed things to fill their time. They needed other ways to signal, I'm alive, this is me, this is who I am. And quizzes were a way of doing that, whereas men had their careers. They had their work friends. They had so many things outside the home that could define them. It's very funny that the more things change, the more they stay the same. If you think about some of the quizzes these days, they're still quite similarly themed.
So this is the Myers-Briggs group. It's just wonderful to see everyone here. I know some people are relatively new to Myers-Briggs, some people are more advanced. Who wants to get started?
I first discovered Myers-Briggs like 5 years ago. And I can say with confidence that, I'm an INFJ. And I just find myself like a pit bull and I just dig my teeth into the theory, and I haven't let it go for like 5 years now, so that's my story.
I type pretty consistently as an ISTP, although I'm not sure if I am. I think part of the issue is that I'm an ISTP female, and all the descriptions sound very masculine, mechanic.
The Myers-Briggs became the golden standard. This mother-daughter team, Catherine Briggs and Isabel Myers, decided to create an assessment to help women transition into the workforce. People still use it, actually, to assess how someone is going to fit into their organization. It's a test that purports to tell you what kind of a type you are. Are you introverted? Are you extroverted?
I'm a linear thinker, whereas NEs are more likely to jump around to different ideas and want to pursue different things.
Ultimately, the test has absolutely zero validity. It has zero correlation to what people are like. It fails to replicate in the sense that you can test as one thing and then as another thing. All of the questions that are being asked are very vague. I enjoy being in groups. Well, if I'm answering that for myself, the answer can be sometimes, right? I enjoy being in groups when I'm in a social mood and when that group is my close friends. I don't enjoy being in groups when I don't know anyone. So because that kind of subtlety is entirely missing from tests like the Myers-Briggs, their ability to predict real-world outcomes is basically non-existent.
To me, the proof is a framework something that makes people feel like, yes, I see something about myself, I see something in the world that I didn't see before. So there's kind of a comfort that comes from knowing that the way you are is the way a lot of people are. You're not alone. Other people share kind of the patterns that you experience, and there's probably solutions that maybe you haven't thought of.
Over and over, you see very smart people saying that, oh, this test got me. This assessment is accurate. I'm exactly like this personality type. It ends up that You can make almost any personality assessment feel like it applies to you if you frame the questions and the answers in a specific way. So the Barnum effect is an effect where you think that a personality quiz applies to you specifically, whereas in reality it is completely random and had nothing to do with the results of the test that you took. Everyone has the new test for, predicting who's going to be successful in your organization, who is going to make the best worker, who is going to be the best student. That's someone making money off of this idea that you can predict someone's outcomes based on where they fall into a certain typology. Every time you take something like that, you are giving just reams and reams of data about yourself to third parties who can then sell that to advertisers, or maybe they are advertisers themselves. Actually, some of these quizzes were created by companies that have products to sell. So all of a sudden, you're giving a very good profile of yourself to others, and they can use it to target ads to you, to sell you things, to target political ads to you, to try to persuade you and nudge you in different directions.
This includes the basic responsibility of protecting people's information, which we failed to do with Cambridge Analytica.
So a lot of the data that Cambridge Analytica used was made available because people took a quiz. They actually opted in to take a quiz on social media that was supposed to tell them something about themselves. And the moment they clicked on that quiz, they opened up their profile and their friends' profiles to Cambridge Analytica. It's very difficult without labels to just go about the world. We want to know what to call something. We want to know what category it fits into. Otherwise, it's just too amorphous. It's uncertain. One of the things psychologists have learned over the years is that the human brain really doesn't like ambiguity and uncertainty. Those are two things that scare us and that make us very uncomfortable. Well, what if I don't label myself? What if I don't actually choose one thing? All of a sudden, I can be all of these different things.